The email arrived while I was organizing files in my cubicle. Mandatory meeting in conference room A. All accounting staff. I glanced at my sister Sarah's office. Her nameplate gleamed, Senior Financial Manager. Mine, by contrast, read simply, Account Coordinator. She caught my eye through the glass wall and smirked, adjusting her designer blazer. I was used to her condescension. Ever since I chose to work right after high school instead of going to college like her, Sarah had treated me as if I were beneath her. When she helped me get an entry-level position at her company 2 years ago, she made sure everyone knew it was an act of charity for her uneducated sister. What she never knew was that, while she spent 4 years on her finance degree, I had been taking online courses in forensic accounting and computer security. My entry-level role was perfect. It gave me first-hand access to the flow of money through a major corporation. The conference room was packed when I arrived. Sarah stood at the front with our CEO, Mr. Richardson, both looking grave. "We've discovered significant discrepancies in our accounts," Sarah announced. $50,000 is missing, and we traced the unauthorized access to someone in this room. My heart pounded as she clicked to the next slide. My employee ID appeared on the screen. "The evidence is clear," she said, her voice dripping with fake regret. "My own sister, whom I gave a chance to despite her limited qualifications, has betrayed that trust." Security guards appeared at the door. "We've already contacted the police," she added. "Though I'm willing to show mercy if you confess now, Lisa." I stayed silent, steady as I gathered my belongings. I'd seen this coming for weeks. Sarah had insisted I cover extra shifts, using her computer because mine was being upgraded. I'd even discovered a keylogger installed on my workstation. I had documented everything. As security escorted me out, Sarah's voice echoed down the hallway. "I guess it's true what they say about uneducated people. They always resort to stealing." But Sarah didn't know I'd been quietly building my case for months. From the day I was hired, I noticed irregularities in the books, patterns of long-term embezzlement. All roads led to one source, my perfect, educated sister. That night, I sat in my apartment, not crying, as Sarah probably expected, but organizing my evidence. The keylogger she planted had been child's play to detect and record. I had let it stay, curious to see her next move. Predictably, she used it to frame me. Around midnight, my phone rang. An unfamiliar number. "Ms. Lisa Thompson? This is Charles Richardson." The CEO's voice was sharper now, stripped of its office polish. "I reviewed today's security footage, something about your sister installing software on your computer last week. Would you meet me tomorrow morning?" I smiled, thinking of the encrypted evidence folder on my drive. "Of course, Mr. Richardson. I have some things you'll want to see." The next morning, I met Mr. Richardson at a quiet cafe. With him was a woman he introduced as Diana Chen, corporate security. "We've been investigating financial irregularities for months," Diana explained. "But someone was always one step ahead, until you arrived." I opened my laptop. Sarah needed a clean employee ID for her larger transfers. She's been skimming small amounts for years, but greed made her sloppy. She didn't think her uneducated sister would notice the patterns. Diana's eyes widened as I walked them through years of suspicious transfers. Each was technically authorized, but irregular enough to raise flags, if you knew where to look. Sarah's flawless record had shielded her from audits, but once she framed me, her arrogance became her undoing. Mr. Richardson leaned forward. "The police are already investigating. The hidden camera footage of her installing the keylogger is damning, but this," he gestured to my files. "This proves intent and a full pattern." I nodded and played my final card. "You should also see this." On screen appeared records from Sarah's previous 2 employers, smaller thefts, same method. She'd been at this for years. My phone buzzed with a text from Sarah. "I hope you're happy living on unemployment. No one will hire a thief." Mr. Richardson chuckled when I showed him. "She still has no idea, does she?" "No," I said. "She always assumed that without a degree, I was stupid. She never bothered to check what I was actually learning." That afternoon, Sarah was arrested at her desk. I watched from Mr. Richardson's office as she was escorted out, screaming about mistakes and family loyalty. Her designer blazer didn't look so impressive with handcuffs as an accessory. The evidence was airtight. The keylogger she installed had captured her login credentials. Hidden cameras showed her accessing my workstation after hours. And my documentation transformed her crimes into a career-long embezzlement scheme. Our mother texted me soon after, "How could you do this to your sister? She gave you a job when no one else would." I didn't respond. They'd never believed in me anyway. Mr. Richardson cleared his throat. "Ms. Thompson, we find ourselves in need of a new senior financial manager, someone with forensic accounting skills and the ability to detect fraud. Interested?" "I need to finish my certification first," I replied. 2 classes left. "Take your time," he said, smiling. "The position will be waiting." That evening, I packed up Sarah's office, now mine. I found a photo from her college graduation, her smile wide as she held her diploma like a shield. She had spent years building an image of success while stealing from every company that trusted her. I had spent those years truly learning. Preparing. Later, Sarah texted me from county jail, "You have to help me. I'm your sister." I placed her graduation photo and her nameplate into a box. "No," I typed back. "I don't have to do anything. Educated people should know better than to commit fraud." Then I sat at my new desk, opened my laptop, and began reviewing company security protocols. I had work to do, and I'd earned my place at the table. No degree required. Over the next few weeks, updates from prosecutors confirmed what I already knew: Sarah's previous employers were pressing charges. Her reputation shattered. Our parents finally stopped defending her, and stopped attacking me. The company implemented my recommendations. The board approved an overhaul of our financial systems. And they paid for me to finish my certification. Last week, my new nameplate arrived. Lisa Thompson, Senior Financial Manager and Security Compliance Director. Not bad for someone who chose a different path to success. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about proving them wrong all along. The forensic accountant I'd hired testified first, walking the court through clips of Sarah installing the keylogger after hours. Then he presented my documentation, now expanded with records from her previous employers. Each slide revealed the same pattern: small discrepancies, growing larger over time, all traced back to Sarah's access credentials. During a break, our mother approached me in the hallway. She looked older than I remembered, her once confident posture replaced with a worried slouch. "Lisa, please," she begged. "Sarah made a mistake, but she's still your sister. If you'd just speak as a character witness." "A mistake?" I interrupted quietly. "She stole over $200,000 from 3 different companies. She tried to frame me for it. She would have let me go to jail, Mom. That's not a mistake. That's who she is. But she helped you get a job. Without her, I would have found another way to succeed. I always do." I gathered my belongings and looked her in the eye. She didn't get me that job out of kindness. She needed someone to take the fall when she got caught. The only mistake Sarah made was underestimating me. Back in the courtroom, Sarah's lawyer tried to argue that her previously exemplary character should weigh in her favor. The prosecutor countered by playing audio from the security footage, Sarah mocking my lack of education while setting me up to take the blame. The judge's expression hardened with each recording. "Your Honor," Sarah's lawyer tried again, "my client's sister now holds a senior position at the company. Surely that demonstrates the family's commitment to rehabilitation." "Ms. Thompson earned that position by uncovering your client's crimes," the prosecutor interrupted. "The very crimes Sarah Thompson attempted to pin on her sister, assuming no one would believe a woman without a college degree." Sarah crumbled visibly at that, realizing just how completely her plan had backfired. The hearing ended with her case bound over for trial. Bail denied, flight risk. As she was led away, she called out, "Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't mean." I packed up my laptop and left without looking back. The next few months brought changes I never expected. Mr. Richardson promoted me to Vice President of Financial Security, creating a new department focused on preventing the exact kind of fraud Sarah had committed. Word of my work spread through industry circles, and soon consulting requests poured in from companies desperate to audit their systems. Ironically, many came from Sarah's former colleagues, the same people who once looked down on me at her urging. Now they sought my advice on career development. College isn't the only path to success, I told them. It's about what you learn, not where you learn it. The prosecution offered Sarah a plea deal, 15 years, with parole eligibility after 7, in exchange for a full confession. She accepted, perhaps hoping to control the narrative. But her confession revealed even more. She'd started stealing in college, siphoning funds from student organizations to maintain her lifestyle. After graduation, she refined her methods, staying just ahead of detection, until she tried to set me up as her fall guy. At her sentencing, I finally agreed to meet her in the holding cell. She launched into a carefully rehearsed speech, tears sliding down her cheeks. I was jealous, she admitted. You were always so capable, learning what you wanted, making your own way. I had to follow Mom and Dad's perfect plan. The perfect degree, the perfect job, the perfect life. But it was never enough. So you decided to steal what you couldn't earn? I asked. And blame it on me, because you thought no one would believe I could catch you. I'm your sister, she whispered. Doesn't that mean anything? I stood up. It meant something when you helped me get hired. It meant something different when you tried to send me to prison. Now it just means I know exactly who you are. The judge sentenced her to 15 years plus restitution. Our parents sat in the front row, their faces pale, finally forced to accept that their perfect daughter had built her life on lies. They tried to approach me afterward, but I had a meeting to attend. That meeting changed everything. A major financial security firm had heard about my work on Sarah's case. They wanted to partner with me on developing fraud detection software based on my methodologies. The contract would make me a millionaire several times over. We love that you learned this through experience, the CEO told me. Anyone can follow textbook methods. You saw patterns others missed, because you looked where they didn't think to look. As I signed the contract, my phone buzzed with a prison message from Sarah. She'd lost her appeal. She wanted me to fund her commissary account since our parents couldn't support her anymore. I deleted the message without responding. Later that week, I got an email from Sarah's last employer. Their audit revealed she had hidden funds in overseas accounts. They wanted me to trace the money. The fee would cover the down payment on the house I'd been eyeing. Of course, I accepted. With every case I solved, every fraud I uncovered, I built the career Sarah once tried to steal from me. Her perfect degree hung uselessly on a prison wall, while my hard-earned experience opened doors she never even knew existed. Our parents eventually stopped contacting me after I blocked their numbers. They had spent years praising Sarah's academic achievements while dismissing my practical skills. Now they could spend their time visiting her in prison while reading about my success in the financial press. 5 years after Sarah's arrest, I stood at a podium accepting an industry award for innovation in financial security. My online degree hung proudly in my office, beside certificates from specialized training programs, proof that education comes in many forms. A reporter asked about my unusual career path. Success isn't about where you start, I said. It's about paying attention, learning constantly, and being ready when opportunity appears. Sometimes the best opportunities come disguised as someone else's attempt to destroy you. Sarah still writes to me sometimes through the prison email system. She claims she's changed, that she's teaching other inmates about finance. Her last message caught my attention. I'll be up for parole in 2 years. I've learned so much. Maybe you could hire me. Give me the same chance I once gave you. I archived the email without replying. Some lessons take longer to learn than others. Sarah taught me that family isn't about blood, it's about trust. And once that trust is broken, no degree, no apology, no plea for help can repair it. My new fraud detection software launches next month, designed to catch the very schemes Sarah used to commit. In the end, her attempt to destroy me gave me the knowledge to protect others. That's justice she can never steal.